News Michael Austin had waited 27 years to hear.
It is my decision not to retry this matter.
I was in prison more than 27 years. I was in prison a little longer than that, but they just saying 27 years. It was 10,000 days. Hey, Kate, how you doing?
Hey,
How's
good.
everything? How you been doing?
Good to see you. Come
good to
on
see you.
in.
Good, good. Thank you very much. Now, let me
Let's
go
go on
upstairs.
upstairs.
Yeah,
you cover my big ass.
You crazy shit.
The chief mission of Centurion Ministries is to free wrongly convicted people who are serving life or death sentences for crimes they did not commit. Michael was convicted of a armed robbery and murder in a small convenience store in Baltimore. The description of the assailants juxtaposed to who Michael is was ridiculous. I mean, a fool, a child would have known that, you know, that mugshot is not Michael Austin.
I got off of work one night and I was informed that the police was looking for me for murder and armed robbery at the Grounds Food Market. And that's when my whole world was turned upside down. Every witness in the supermarket said the guy who shot the security guard was 5'8", light-skinned with an eggy head, wore glasses, sideburns. Why did you arrest me? 5'8", light complexion. How did I even become a part of this scenario? They have a thing in Baltimore City what they call clear the slate. Clear the slate is when police go out at night and they'll see you stand on the corner, and if they arrest you, and if you don't have an alibi, you will get arrested. It was my time, I guess. You know, clear the slate.
I know we are supposed to say it's the best system in the world, and maybe it is, I have no idea. But all I know is what I know about it, it's very broken. And I don't know what to do to fix it. I really don't. I really don't. Personally, I think the biggest problem is blind focus by the police. Once they settle on a suspect, it's almost impossible for them to veer off when they've been given other information and basically have to scrap the old investigation and begin a new one. Cops are kind of bullies. The criminal justice world has sort of an us-them mentality with the police, the prosecutors, and even the public defenders, because the public defenders, a career public defender eventually becomes part of the system. You know, it's human nature.
I had a meeting with the guy who actually prosecuted me, and I really dislike this guy, I really do. I really dislike him. But I was talking to him one day, and he was talking to me, and he started crying about what he did. And he said to me, he said, "I'm going to tell you what I did, but I need you to try to understand." And I said, okay. He said, during the time you was in court, an election was going on, and I needed to be working. And plus my daughter was getting ready to go to college, and I needed to be in a position financially. And he was very sincere about what he was saying. And I said, so you changed my life for your daughter's life. I was 26 when I went to Maryland State Penitentiary. I went in General Maryland State Penitentiary population on May the 5th, 1975. My first night in prison was like a nightmare. It was the most difficult time of my life because I had no idea how anger could really destroy you, because I was just mad at the whole system, and I needed to get out of that state of mind. But it took 5 years for me to actually realize that I needed to focus on getting out of prison, not basically hating everybody who put me in there. See, when I went to prison, the Black Panther Party was still in existence. And a guy by the name of Marshall Conway used to hound dog me every day about getting an education. He said, in case you ever get out, you'll have that. And he was one of the guys that was very instrumental in pushing me toward, you know, getting my education. And I took the GED and passed it the first time. And then I enrolled in one of their college programs and got more involved in, and I think that's when it changed, that's when the process came in terms of me changing. Because I realized the effect that education was having on me and understanding what I needed to do to get out of prison. I was fortunate enough to be in a cell with a guy who knew music, and you know, when he left, music became my sanctuary in the sense that I had a place to escape the madness, to escape the anger. So music became something in which it just became a part of me. You know, it's like innate now. It's in me now because I put so many hours in it in the cell every day. That's all I did was play with music, play music, play music.
Because we're all in this together. It's not an excuse for what you feel inside. Life is just an experience.
The program In This Together development, the inception of that happened after I came from Africa. When I went to Africa, I think that was the most rewarding experience I've ever had. I realized most of the people in Africa have no resources, have nothing at all, but yet they still in the community working and trying to help those kids who have nothing. So when I came back home, I got together with a group of friends of mine, and I came up with the idea about, you know, I knew a lot of musicians, and I knew a couple of business people. So I said, well, let's get together, put an organization together that's deal with the arts and entrepreneurship. You know, because we have a lot of kids just walking, just like in Africa, walking around the streets doing nothing. So In This Together is a vehicle, hopefully, that will allow those kids to get involved in activities that will possibly keep them off the street. It's just important for me to be in the community and doing things. Like I'll be telling the kids this: if you're going to be a lawyer, and if you really want to be a lawyer, you have to understand that you have other people's lives in your hand. You're like a doctor, you're like a surgeon. You have someone's life in your hand. So that information, I hope, will allow them to understand what their role is in life. If you're going to be a lawyer, be a lawyer. If you're going to help people, save people's lives. So, you know, I try to just be natural. On December the 28th, 2011, I've been home 10 years. Life is a little bit more precious to me than it used to be in the past. It's more precious and it's more important. And I realize what the important things are now.